So, done a video on my dear friend. Then I realized there's more than one dear friend that I need to do a video to. Maybe not two, but about. Holy crap. I don't know why in the world I'm inspired to do the shit that I'm inspired to do, but I am. And like a dipshit. Not really a dipshit. It turned out for good reason. Oh, hold on, my ear itches. Motherfucker. Oh yeah. Like a kitty. Oh, that's just so good. Or a dog. Last year, 2020, coronavirus year. I knew that shit was bullshit. At least it wasn't how it was being told to us and so forth. But for a while I'd been seeing these posts from my old friend from a very long time ago about how basically like her and her son were suffering in homeless or something, I don't know. And I really was hesitant for a long time to, I'm like, oh, fuck, I got this house, like I can invite her to stay here and blah, blah, blah. Well, one day, because I was being a drunk, probably, like, yay, I invited her and her little son to stay at my house. And she was kind of being weird, so she'll listen now, right? But I was like, let's just do this, bitch. What the fuck? Like, I'm just like, boom, let's get shit done. Kind of a deal. So I'm like, hey, where am I gonna pick him? She's like, well, you can pick up my son first. And then I'll show up there later. Like, I should take care of her or whatever. Sound legit. I just thought she was a down and out person that was being abused. Well, what I'm learning now, I already knew this. She's just another case of I'm pretend being abused by the people, but really I'm just dipshit making bad choices, and I'm also an abuser. Yeah, she was getting abused because she's a dipshit, hanging out with fucking nuts as shit people. So, I ended up unfolding. Because, of course, she just respected my wishes of don't bring your retarded boyfriend around. So I just let it go. Because I just thought, well, maybe it's alright. And it wasn't necessarily a bad thing. Because, they seemed cool. They, like the typical narcissist psychopath, as long as they're getting what they want out of you, they're going to behave for the most part. I mean, yeah, she disregarded my wishes on the boyfriend thing, but that's not that big a deal. It's not like my house is gonna burn down over it. Or was it? So they had this sob story about how they were up in the canyon, like dipshits, like obviously follow the rules of the fucking canyon with their RV, supposedly, right? I don't even know if the story's true. And the cops came and they're like, nah, you can't stay here, you guys. You gotta leave like stat right now. So they were in such a hurry that they started driving down the canyon, and then they get pulled over again because their RV thing is on fire. Again, I don't even know if the story's true. I hear these stories and I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, I wasn't helping them because our RV burned down anyways, so it didn't really matter to me if it was legit or not. I already knew the female was fucked up. So I had all this stuff that needed to be done. And I should have just said, oh, okay, so you and your dipshit boyfriend, they're both dipshits, not just him, earn your keep, do this shit for me. But I was having compassion about the RV thing. And I had this, what we called the rolling turd RV. And I loved it. It was like the 70s style thing. But I hated it. I wasn't going to drive that thing around. You fucking guy. Fucking thing's a beast. And old as a motherfucker. So I thought the idea of I'll let her earn it by doing shit for me, like build me a fence, etc. Well, she pulls the RV. Let's see. My fucking neighbor is bitching about 2 inches of my RV being on her property. I'm just like, oh my God, who the fuck even wastes their energy on that? Then she ends up stealing like a foot or 2 of my property. Whatever. I ain't gonna fight about a foot or 2. I ain't gonna fight about an inch. So, anyway, her and her boyfriend pull the RV up, but they plow it into my sister's truck, so now that's damaged. They did clean up my yard, so I was grateful for that. I mean, they were trying their best attempt. Like she was trying to be good, you know. So if you, my friend, sees this video, I think you were trying. I think you were trying to like be better. But what ends up happening, well, she starts fighting with the boyfriend, and the motherfuckers that live here pick and fight with her, but the motherfucker pick and fight with her is dipshit anyway, so I was like, I ain't listening to his ass. That could be a whole other video. That'll be a whole other video. So what unfolds is the RV ends up getting burned down. The work that I fucking told them to do doesn't fully get done. It like a dang near though. Like, well, the yard got cleaned up, but then the RV got burned down. So it kind of made up, like, it brought back all the garbage that they'd cleaned. And then, I asked them to build a fence, and it only got half built. It's fully built now, though. What ended up happening is I had this boyfriend that, thank God, through a mental breakdown thing, and it was definitely deal breaker ground. And so he broke up with me, but of course he's just bluffing. But I made him stick to it. And so that boyfriend had been in prison before. But it was supposedly years before, right? And he'd made amends. He's better now. I don't hold grudges, you know? And in the past, he had been a meth addict. Like, who the fuck smokes Drano? Like, dipshits. I don't even fucking get the fuck out of here with that shit. But motherfucker did. And he had ended up in prison supposedly because he stole a Jeep or something due to his addiction. I don't know, I guess he's gonna sell it or some shit. Who knows if that's even true? Like, I didn't verify it. I trust that things come to me for a reason, and they unfold the way they do for a reason, teach me something, right? And so then that boyfriend breaks up with me, and I kept wanting to hang out with my friend, you know, the one that the RV, I know this video's about. But she was always too busy with her boyfriend and her stupid drama. I was just like, oh my God, how boring of a life, sitting there kissing this dude's ass and chasing after him. But I understand now why, actually. It's because he would get a substantial amount of money from the government. And her ass don't want to work. And so when he'd get paid like a dipshit, They'd go get hotels and they'd go gamble it all away in like 2 minutes. It's like, okay, maybe winning the lottery and gambling wins you money once in a great while, but mostly you just lose it all like dipshits. And then you're broke as fuck and homeless the rest of the time, which is exactly what happened with these people. But they were living off me, so they were totally down. Like, hey, we live off you. We go blow all our money making the casino people rich as a motherfucker, and then we live off you, a single mom of 8 kids. That's totally legitimately fine. Like, what losers do that, dude? These losers. That's who. Sorry, but that's a loser move, girl. If it was you, like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you do that? Like, get the fuck out of here. So, I go to Wendover with her, which is a place to go gamble for fun. You know, like, finally I'm gonna hang out with my friend. It's not like she's all bad. I mean, she's an entertaining chick. We had a great combo. Like, fuck, the bitch got potential. That's a fact. And so, we're in the hotel room, which was nice. I ain't gonna lie, all late is sitting that motherfucker. Will she go gamble? Not anymore, but before I would have. So then, she decides to smoke meth in front of me, and I didn't say nothing because I'm not a dumbass. I played it off like I was cool with it. And I decided to take just a tiny little bit of whiff of it, just to kind of feel it out. Because I like to judge things based on experience, not on just me talking shit out of my ass. It was disgusting, and it was demonic, and it was horrible, and it definitely, I felt it out, and I felt it out as a very bad thing, and of course she's trying to get me to smoke more, and I was like, fuck no, I felt it out, I'm good, motherfucker, that ain't even how I'm going down, you know? But, yeah, obviously at that point, things were starting to come together, and I was like, oh my fuck, you know, this bitch gonna burn my house down. Well, I had already allowed her to stay inside my house at that point, because she was, like, mostly staying in the RV before. I was worried as a fuck that she's gonna burn down my house. But she was also causing problems with my roommates. And then now I knew she was smoking meth, and the area where she was staying was right in the same areas where I lived. It's all enclosed, so you can, you know, hear and smell each other's everything. And I could smell that she was smoking in there like a dipshit. You can't even open the window that's there. So that was pissing me off too. So the bitch had to go, and I was just buying some time before I'd tell her, like, you gotta go. And so then the video that I did about my other friend, they got into a fight or some shit. Like, they're both crazy, so they were at each other like cats, you know? They're tit for tat. Just one's on meth and the other one's on motherfucking aspartame and artificial sweeteners and canola oil. Same motherfucking thing. And so I had to ask the bitch to move, and the part that was sad about that was her little son. Her little son told his mom, see that the mom's not completely crazy. People aren't just always crazy. There's good stuff and the bad stuff there, right? Just the bad stuff is the stuff that can't live in my house because they'll burn my house down and cause me problems. Just like that other bitch trying to steal my renters, fucking up my dog business. Probably eventually try to steal my house and kid, you know? Which has happened to me before. Fucking humans are crazy as a motherfucker. I had my boyfriend's mom basically trying to steal my kid, obsessed with him. I was just like, go fucking be a foster parent or some shit. What are you trying to steal my kid for, fucking crazy lady? And then I had another female 3 years ago do the same motherfucking thing. Try to steal my house, train my kids to call her mom. Like, what is wrong with you humans? Jesus Christ, the bullshit you come up with. Anyways, this is not about that. I mean, I just realized that, like, one crazy motherfucker comes after another because that's all there is. There's a majority crazy motherfuckers on this bitch. So you either have to isolate and not bring anyone in, or you're gonna always risk that, you know, you're bringing in a crazy motherfucker because they're majority crazy motherfuckers. So anyways, I found out this bitch motherfucking smoking meth. And what kept me from kicking her out sooner was the little boy. He had told her that at my house was the first time that he'd actually experienced a normal life. And he loved it. He loved it at my house. I wanted to keep him forever. And so, dear friend, wherever you're at, if you listen to this, I know you're gonna hold on to that little boy because you get more sympathy from people and you get welfare and shit. But I'll take him, you know. If you're gonna fuck off with your stupid, gross boyfriend, I'll take the little boy. Fact. He's a precious boy, but she would give him drugs and shit. It was really fucking traumatizing. And he's on a path to becoming just like her, obviously. And hopefully the little moment that I gave him at my house gives him a window of what else you can do with your life. Like, actually have one, you know? So later I found out that the bitch had taken my roommate's keys and car for a night. And then I realized that she might have done that with my friend Jen's car. Because my friend Jen, like a silly stoner, we were both smoking and drinking. She left her keys upstairs in my kitchen, and I was so tired at the end of the evening that I didn't notice. Or I would have grabbed them and been like, yo, look, you can't leave this shit laying around. Why do you leave this shit laying around? We don't know who come in that door, you know? So in the morning, we're like, oh, fuck, where's your keys? And we're looking frantically for her keys. And my friend, the meth addict, comes around and it's like, oh, look, I found him, like all the way around the corner from where they had been left on the ground behind some gate thing that I had right there. I was like, what the fuck? And I didn't know exactly what the fuck, but I knew it was not, I knew it was suspicious. Like, why the fuck would they end up there? Well, now I know why, because the bitch grabbed my friend's keys and probably took her car for a joyride. So I was very grateful. She did steal my stuff. There's like a big, those angle saws that went missing, my camping heater. And that's the only things I can think of right now. I was annoyed though, because that saw was like $200-300 to replace that bitch. They probably got like, what, $20 for it? Like, fucking idiots. What a waste of money, you know, pawning it. Hopefully they got at least $100 out of it, dipshits. So, like, there's all this shit that was going on. I didn't know, you know, they're very sly at their criminal activities. I had no fucking idea. And so, I was just remembering that this morning, and all these layers of stuff that goes on, and I don't know if she had just bad intentions or she had good intentions, then she couldn't help but being bad. I would say that's probably the one right there. But overall, for as big of a criminal as she really appears to be, I got really lucky and things went pretty well. But aside from the stealing and the maybe burning my house down thing, I won't be bringing people into my house for not ever. I realized that was a very stupid mistake. Like, I can help people that are down and out like her without having to bring them into my house or even giving them my address, period, at all. So things happen and unfold for a reason, but I was very ignorant and naive about this world because, well, I was born into a polygamous family, and when you're born into a family like that that's already breaking the law, you don't mingle with society and you keep to yourselves, right? Because the activity that's going on is against the law. And, the law enforcement will come after you just as if you're, running a meth lab. Same fucking thing to the law. And so I was just very innocent and isolated. And I had to be exposed to these things as an adult. I mean, I was exposed to psychological mental abuse as a child, but I didn't know about like meth addicts and these criminals like my ex-boyfriend. My ex-husband claims that he murdered people with his fist. And that was shocking because I've never been exposed to physical violence before. And then now, this last year, it was all about like drug addiction and people that have it. And that was very interesting because I talk a lot about that, actually. I say that people in addiction are just people that are in pain and they're just trying to kill their pain and it's not their fault. And I have a lot of compassion for that. And I still agree with that, right? I just realized that it's not wise to bring it into my home. So I've had to deal with a lot of different crazy versions of events of humans because I didn't know I wasn't supposed to rent homes or my space out to a bunch of people. I thought that I lived in a free country where I could do what I want with my home that I own, right? Yeah, really. And that was also a blessing in disguise that I now know the law. So I'm really grateful because I've had to deal with a lot of crazy motherfuckers by renting my rooms out to them. And it's been kind of frightening. People are like flirting with me and insisting that I be their person thing. And I'm just like, what the fuck? I mean, motherfuckers ain't even close to like an option for one. But, my business is a business to me. I'm very professional. And, when I tell somebody, no, don't do that, and they insist and throw a tantrum about it, it's kind of traumatizing, I ain't gonna lie. Because I have to keep my cool and be professional. So it's been interesting to learn how to manage all these various types of crazy people. And it doesn't stop me from wanting to do business. It's just I got exposed to a lot of different things that I otherwise would not have. And I'm grateful for that because a lot of it was good too. All of it was good. I learned about humans. The last 3 years was about me learning about humans. And most of them are traumatized and crazy. And so, of course, as happens with, no, not of course, I don't know, like, the story of events with my friend, but I just needed her to feel very uncomfortable with me and get the hell out of Dodge. And now I feel like she can be calling me all the time and contacting me about, give me a ride or give me $20, this kind of shit. I don't mind helping people out, but I don't want to help out people that do drugs. I'm not going to help you do drugs. I'll help you get better. but I'm gonna help you be a drug addict. And she had 7 months to take advantage of the opportunity of living with me to get better, and she didn't. She just kept used as an opportunity to do what she was doing more comfortably. So in that event, like, no, that's not what I'm down with. So I'm gonna be more mindful about how I help people, of course. Well, not of course.